Okay, to explain more, this is the AA panel. Basically, the panel that we manage our website with, and it has a nice UI. And to be honest, mainly on the for creating certificates and trying to add these proxy projects. It was really helpful, and it made things really easy once I tried to do it myself using the nginx, and it was the first time that I've done that, and it got really messy, so I kind of just fall back to AA panel. And it kind of, for me, it sounds like really shaky at the moment because it's a little bit unrobust, because first it opens a port to the outside world, and we try to kind of eliminate it, let's say, if we can. But at the moment, the problem is that we are using AA panel, so whatever reason we are using it, and then it manages its own nginx. So let me show you. Server, I guess. Yeah, you can also see that there's another nginx here. So this duality, kind of double nginx, is kind of really ruins the stuff and kind of gets into our way of development. So the problem is that sometimes you want to run a new subdomain, but then we can't visit it here on the... Okay, so let me put it this way. The problem that having two nginx bring us is basically, first is we have two, but we don't need two of them, of course. And other thing is, for example, when we come here and then we say we want to add a new project, for example, add proxy. If you want to add new subdomain, then there's a chance that this would interfere with the nginx that the system has. So AA panel and system nginx, they kind of conflict and try to kind of basically rule the other one out. So it's like two kings in one kingdom. Okay, so now that we know the problem, to be honest, it's a little bit shaky, and for me it's a little bit scary to kill the instance of the AA panel, but I think okay, so I think at the moment the problem that I'm having and trying to figure out is, of course, if I go for, there's basically two options. So if I decide for killing AA panel nginx, then I have to do all the configuration myself. And if I try to kill the nginx on the server, basically at the moment it's unused, which would be the least pain, or I hope maybe the most logical thing to just keep things working. I mean, it's not the proper way, I would say, but it's just nothing will break, I would say. Let's put it this way. And at the moment there's this dilemma for me. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure of this dilemma, I would say, but I feel not good to kill the system's nginx, because I think that's the way that it should be. That's the right way, proper way to do it. But then the problem is I don't want to go through the headache of configuring everything myself now. So at the moment, I will kill the nginx on the system, and then later on I try to re-implement all of these configurations. It also doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. I mean, if you go the way of the least resistance, then this would be the best thing to do. Okay. At the moment, I would say the UI is nice, but then the only problem would be the port. So here's my decision. I will keep AA panel nginx because it's taking care of all this configuration, and at the moment I don't want to deal with it, to be honest. I will keep AA panel. I kill the nginx on my system, the one that's installed directly as a package. I will delete this, and then I will close the port. Then on a security perspective, I always can access this using SSH port forwarding, and the management of the website is as this UI at the moment. Because to be honest, at this state, because I haven't done this nginx configuration before, I'm not confident that I can do it, to be honest. So I will just pick one thing that I know it would be easy, like manageable at the moment with my current understanding of things. And this way I want to just delete the nginx package of the system and keep the AA panel nginx alive. Okay, so at the moment I'm reading this apt list. So this command actually lists all of the packages, I guess. Okay, so let's just see what is installed. Okay, so there's 2 instances of nginx here. So here we have the nginx. Okay, so with this command apt list installed, I get all of the packages that are at the moment installed on my VPS. But then I want to just see what, like, where's the nginx, or what type of package is the name of the nginx. So I just use pipe grep nginx, and then we have 2 lines here that these are the packages that are at the moment installed my VPS. So now the question is, if I just go ahead and just uninstall it, would everything be okay? Okay, so I just used command ll nginx, and then I realized that it's basically a symlink. I think that was the word. It's a symlink to the one in the AA panel. I thought it's the nginx, the VPS one. Okay, but I mean, the only glimmer of hope at the moment, or like the thing that keeps me sane, is that the website is working. Okay, so here's the idea. The last time that I added this file share at privatekernel.com, basically when I added a subdomain, the problem that we ran into was that I couldn't get into the website. It said like this website is not defined or something like this, and it was also coming from AA panel. So the conflict that I was talking about was like this. I defined my subdomain, but I couldn't get into it. So now I just want to create another one, another proxy project, and see if it works smoothly. If it works smoothly, then we kind of like avoid it, like kind of solve the problem, I would say. So yeah, let's add another proxy project, and I just want to try it if it works or not. So I just added another name to this file share that I had. So basically it would be... So the problem that we had before was that we couldn't add this subdomain. And now I just want to do a test run. I created this subdomain and I want to see if I can add the domain DNS and all these configs easily and without any problem. So I will hit confirm. So what I did, just to test it if it works or not, I just added a test to my DNS config. So now test.privatekernel.com should be known. And let me see. Okay, so using NS lookup at the moment, it kind of returns the address. So I think okay, nice. Yeah, now it's done without any problems. Okay, perfect. So I just tried it using this test.privateconnect.com, and then it also points to the same thing as file share, for example. And then I just added it like some seconds ago to my DNS, and it's just online already. And then the proxy project, the routing routing aspect of things also works. So at the moment, everything is flawless, I would say. Okay. So adding test.privateconnect.com, this worked easily. I think this is like it was done in 2 or 3 minutes, and the last time I think we were working at it for like a couple of hours probably. So at the moment the problem is solved, it works, everything is smooth and perfect, we're happy. But the problem is still that we have a port open here. So with this idea of security first or whatever, yeah. So the problem is this port that you're having open at the moment. So with the idea of security first, I want to close this port, and this is done easily using firewall. Okay, so at the moment, I have AA panel for my website, and I can access it anywhere. And this, we have this port open, and it's accessible from all over the internet. And then this, for me at least, is like a security or like security issue, let's say. And with the idea of security first, it would be good to kind of hide it from the rest of the world. So at the moment, I have this AA panel that manages my website, but the problem is that it's running on this port, and this port is accessible like in all over the internet. Yeah, so it's an open port, and then anyone on the internet can access it. Of course, they don't have my credentials, but they can anyhow access it anyway. Come to this address, let's say. For me, it's a little bit like security issues. I would like to hide it from the rest of the world and kind of have it only on the server. And then I will use the SSH port forwarding to access it when I want to access this AA panel. So basically, I will just hide it so it's not accessible from outside, no one can see it, that it's running on my VPS. And then using SSH port forwarding, I can access it from all over the internet only using the SSH connection. So for me, that I'm the owner of the website, is really cool, and like really, it really is like a handy feature, I would say. And this is probably also many, like it's a good practice, and also you also, personally as the owner of the website, this feature would be really useful, of course. And this is probably also something that you would need maybe in the future, that you want to just run some service on your website that only you can access it and no one else can even open it. So in this part, we wanna try to figure this out, how we can kind of bring this up, like implement this. Okay, so the way that I can deny access to this port is using firewall. At the moment, on my VPS, I'm using nginx firewall. I think that's the name. Okay, I'm using uncomplicated firewall, UFW. I think that's the name. I don't know. Yeah, and it's also mostly used, I guess, on VPS and stuff. So now I just want to close the port, and I do this by, for example, if you want to close port What port do we have here? Yeah. So using this command, we just close the port. Yeah, 31,402. Now it says the rule is updated, and I think I should not be able to connect to it, but it's strange, I can still connect. Okay, so change of plans, I guess. Let's find out which port is AA panel running on, because at the moment I thought that it's like this here, but when I updated the rules of the firewall, I can still access the port. Okay, so I'm reading that in here. What? Okay, so this is the port that AA panel is using, and I just used the firewall to deny access, but then I can still open. So let me do a reload because it didn't work. Server reloaded. What? So for me, it's super confusing. To be honest, for me, it's super confusing. I closed the AA panel port using my UFW rule, but it's still, I can connect to it. So I don't know what's going on. It is super confusing for me. I tried to close AA panel port, that I can add some security to my VPS or like my website. I try to keep things secure, but then the problem is that my ports are not listening to me. I try to close it using the UFW, but then I still can access my AA panel as usual. So what's going on? This, I will work on it on next stream. So subscribe, stay tuned, see you. Okay, so yeah, I think in a sense it didn't work out. It's a little bit strange, but on the other hand, it kind of gave me this idea to work more on the next stream. So it's kind of pretty cool, I would say. I mean, these sort of challenges are the things that we are always dealing with, I would say. Yeah, it's all content, baby. But yeah, let's see next time how it goes. I'm really curious, and to be honest, it's a panel. I feel like it's kind of sabotaging in a sense. I mean, it keeps things really beautiful, really fancy, nice UI, nice diagrams, blah blah blah. But then when you want to actually do something like configure your AA panel, it's like really pain in the neck. So and really, it's like a double-edged sword. I don't know if I should use it or just go through the pain of configuring everything myself. So hopefully next times and the upcoming videos we'll discuss this, and I'm pretty personally kind of excited about the way that it's going, and even now with this challenge, but we're gonna see to it and we're gonna solve it. Okay, so thank you for watching. I mean, at the moment I'm pretty happy because we did some stuff and the website is not broken, so I think it's a small step. And then the next time we will continue, and I'm also pretty curious about what's going on, and like my ports, they're going crazy. What's happening? Okay then, take care, and hopefully I will see you next time. Please subscribe. I will do this sort of content hopefully every week. So hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you.